in Vietnam. And he wanted to come today and talk just a few minutes about that service. He's a retired Marine Corps Master Gunnery Sergeant, and he served in the 1st Marine Division in Vietnam. And I said, sure, we'd be glad to have you. So he brought him and his wife all the way from Maryland today so that he could be present and say a few words about his comrade in arms, Harold Musselman, one of the 2 Musselman boys that's on our wall. His name that's going to speak to you is Johnny Herrmann. His wife is Donna. And I'm not going to say anything else and turn it over to Johnny.
No, you're not.
Good afternoon. It's great to see you all here today.
Tyler, stop.
I'm here to pay homage to all the servicemen and women, especially my good friend whose name is listed on the moving wall. I left home in 1967 to join the United States Marine Corps because my high school friends' older brothers returned from the war either wounded or killed in action. I arrived in Vietnam in 1968, and on a daily basis we began our day with a memorial service to the fallen from the previous day. Knowing our country lost an average of 1,000 killed in action a month. Many times we stood there wondering who that helmet on top of that weapon belonged to. I asked my buddy one day, who was that guy? And to my grief, he said, remember that guy at the beer tent that bought you one 2 nights ago? And my head just fell. It's a great honor to have the privilege to put on my Marine Corps uniform for this recon mission to the great state of Indiana. I've been retired from the Marine Corps for 22 years, but my obligation to both the Corps and the wall is for life. As a Vietnam veteran, it chokes me up to be here in Richmond today. Of all the 58,496 names on the wall, panel number 30 West, line 61, has my good buddy's name, Lance Corporal Harold Earl Musselman from Centerville, Indiana, right around the corner. A fellow Marine of the 1st Force Reconnaissance Company, 1st Marine Division, Vietnam. Let it be known we came from all over this great country to do our specialized jobs in Vietnam, and we made great friends and sometimes lifelong friendships with our fellow teammates. There were 26 Marines in our Special Ops platoon. We were made up of 3 teams, of which 1 or 2 were out on missions at any given time. About 17 of us are still around and remain in contact with each other today. 4 of us are here today. For 5 months, Earl participated in deadly recon missions going out on patrol with 4 or 5 other Marines, spying on the enemy, and when called upon, capturing key personnel and delivering them to our intel sections. When not wrapped up with missions, Earl tried to describe the beauty of his hometown here in the heartland many times. But you see, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, a city of thousands of streets and buildings with no comparison to the laid-back lifestyle of this beautiful area.
Who is it? Griffey. Okay.
The horrors of war took my good friend on the 3rd of March, 1969.
I'm in Indiana.
And left me forever to brag about him and all others on the wall to great Americans like yourself. From 1959 to 1975, my home state of New York and your state of Indiana had a combined loss of 3,300 service members in Vietnam. They will not be forgotten. There are no parades or pats on the back for service members returning from the war in Vietnam. That was very hard to understand. But you go on because we won all the battles, and we felt great pride doing that. Vietnam veterans today, for the most part, have sons and daughters that serve proudly in Iraq and Afghanistan. And they have taken the necessary steps to ensure that the veterans of these conflicts get the homecoming parades, recognition, and pats on the back that they so richly deserve. Donna and I love the relationship we have with the Earl family. Since I've retired from the Corps, his oldest sister Linda Souther and her husband Bob from Richmond always make us feel so welcome here. It's like a homecoming I've never got. I hope that some of Earl's nephews support our future armed service by serving their country and never forgetting the sacrifices their 2 uncles made for our country. Earl's older brother, Robert, also gave all in Vietnam. Yes, Linda, people will remember your brothers and their sacrifice. It's an honor today here in Richmond to see the presence of several members of Earl's Vietnam Recon Unit. We have with us Captain Stephen Herrmann, our commanding officer from Lexington, Kentucky. We also have Staff Sergeant Pete Schroeder, Recon team leader, who came here all the way from Montana, 2,200 miles on his motorcycle. And Lance Corporal Jim Weber from Seattle, Washington. Rough. Our youngest of 7, daughter Chrissy and her husband Shannon, and their son Tyler, who's our youngest of 13 grandchildren, are here from St. Louis. My wife Donna and I are members of the Rolling Thunder Incorporated, an organization dedicated to the MIA POW cause, and for the last 15 years have worked the Memorial Day ceremony at the Vietnam Wall in Washington, D.C. I am also a member of the Force Reconnaissance Association. That's an organization where old and young special operations people, guys meet to talk about great guys like my buddy Earl. We live in the state of Maryland, where we both still work and hope to retire in 2015. God bless America and the great way of life we live. Hoorah!
Hoorah!